The second my key jammed in the front door, I knew something was rotten. It wasn't just stuck, it was saw-dead saw. I jiggled it, tried the spare, but the lock wouldn't budge. No ice, no weather excuse. Then I smelled it, a sharp, chemical sting. Superglue. Someone had gunked up my lock on purpose. I stepped back, staring at the house I'd lived in for 5 years, my stomach twisting with a mix of anger and suspicion. I'm Nathan Harper, a construction inspector, not the type to back down from a fight, especially when it's personal. I've sniffed out enough shady deals on job sites to spot a power trip a mile away, and this screamed of the kind of petty tyranny that hides behind official signatures. "Trouble with your door, Nathan," came a voice, high and smug, cutting through the dusk. I turned, slow and steady. There she was, Evelyn Carver, president of the Willow Creek HOA, standing on our manicured lawn, arms folded, grinning like a shark circling a wounded fish. "Someone glued my lock shut," I said, keeping my voice even, though my fists clenched. Evelyn gasped, all theatrical shock. "Vandalism? Here? Maybe it's a hint, Nathan. That unapproved shed of yours has been a problem for weeks. The board voted to enforce compliance. You were warned." Her words were a jab, but I wasn't swinging yet. "Enforcement doesn't mean wrecking my home," I said, heading to my truck before I lost it. This was war, and I wasn't about to lose. 3 weeks back, I'd built a small tool shed in my yard. Nothing crazy, fully legal by county standards, but it didn't fit Willow Creek's VY Sewell Unity rules. Evelyn showed up that day, clipboard in hand, demanding I tear it down. I said I'd think it over, which clearly pissed her off. Fines started stacking up, fake ones, like improper lawn texture or unapproved mailbox tint. I appealed. The board ghosted me. Evelyn wasn't just flexing, she wanted me out, and gluing my lock was her crossing the line. I called the sheriff. A deputy snapped photos, filed a report, but without a witness, he was stuck. Still, Evelyn's smug act was as good as a confession. I wasn't letting this slide. That night, I crashed at a friend's, and by dawn, I was back with a truck full of steel-reinforced Dorse industrial grade, built to stop a tank. If Evelyn wanted a fight, she'd get one. I swapped out every door in my house, each new deadbolt locking with a heavy saw-clunk saw. That evening, I caught her pacing outside, phone in hand, face red with rage. "Problem?" I asked, leaning against my fortress. "These doors break HOA aesthetics," she spat. "They're legal, Evelyn." "Glue my lock." "That's a crime." I slammed the door, bolting all 3 locks. 2 days later, I came home to a disaster. My back door was bashed in, the frame splintered. My security camera caught it all. Evelyn and 2 board members, gloved hands gripping crowbars, breaking into my kitchen in crystal clear HD. My hands shook not from fear, but fury. I called my lawyer, Rachel Kim, a former prosecutor who didn't mess around. She watched the footage once, leaned back, and asked, "Did the HOA ever say they could enter your property?" "Never," I said. "Just fines, no permission." She nodded. "That's criminal trespass, burglary, and property damage. 3 felonies. I spent the next hour writing down every dirty trick Evelyn had pulled, dates, times, sneers, everything. By the end of the week, the sheriff had summoned Evelyn and her goons. Gossip tore through Willow Creek like a brush fire. Neighbors whispered, curtains twitched, and the air crackled with tension. I stayed quiet, letting the charges speak. But I knew Evelyn wouldn't fulge to escalate. Sure enough, a code enforcement officer showed up, claiming my shed broke some city rule. I handed him my permits, measurements, and zoning papers. He scanned them, nodded, and shut the case. Before he left, I asked, "The HOA been targeting others?" He paused. "Off the record, they've filed 10 complaints lately. All tossed." That was my opening. I printed flyers cold, hard facts. The break-in charges, the rejected complaints, my shed's legality. At the bottom, in bold. "Saw, is this who you want to charge?" Saw I slipped one into every mailbox. No drama, just truth. By Sunday, a crowd was on my lawn, some pissed, some curious, all done with Evelyn's reign. "They really broke in?" a woman asked. "Got on tape," I said. "They're facing trial." A guy piped up. "My daughter saw them that night. Thought they were thieves." "They were," I said. just with HOA titles. Rachel called that night. Hearings next week. DA's pushing charges, and you've got a restraining order 100 feet. All 3 board members. I smirked. Good. They're about to have VY citers. By Monday, Willow Creek was alive with rebellion. Fed-up residents used a bylaw to call an emergency HOA meeting, demanding a board ouster. They needed 30 fan-tram of homeowners' signatures. They got 55 fan-tram. The day before the meeting, a man named Henry Vaughn knocked on my door. 60s, sharp suit, ex-board member. Quit when Evelyn got too power crazy, he said, handing me a folder packed with meeting notes, financials, and emails. Shady contracts, flagged expenses, and a maintenance fund missing due law $80,000 in 2 years. You testifying? I asked. Already gave a statement, he said. Rachel barely blinked when I showed her. This is a CIVYL suit goldmine. Embezzlement, fake complaints, abuse of power. The community center was packed for the meeting, 90 homeowners crammed into folding chairs, the air thick with anticipation. Evelyn sat up front, flanked by a lawyer who looked like he was regretting his life choices. When a motion to boot the board was read, I stood. I've got proof of criminal misconduct by board members under indictment. The room went silent as Rachel hooked up her laptop. The projector flashed the break-in footage, then the rejected complaints, then Henry's financials. Murmurs turned to gasps. By the time Rachel was done, Evelyn's lawyer had edged away. The vote was unanimous. Evelyn and her crew were out. The fallout was brutal. Evelyn was arrested for fraud. Her cousin's fake landscaping company exposed as a front for siphoning that due law $80,000. A CIVYL suit ballooned as 15 homeowners retirees, single moms, veterans shared stories of harassment and coerced sales. The state attorney general dug into every HOA-linked property deal, uncovering a network of LLCs tied to a crooked real estate firm. Evelyn was caught shredding papers at her sister's place, her defense collapsing under surveillance and forged signatures. Willow Creek didn't just heal, it transformed. The new board opened the books, set up transparent budgeting, and ditched fines for a voluntary upkeep council. Neighbors waved again, kids played freely. One morning, I helped a guy named Marcus plant a red oak for his mom, another of Evelyn's targets. Will it last? I asked, tamping the soil. Yeah, he said. It's got room to grow now. I took the steel door they'd smashed to a welder, had it turned into a bench for the community garden. Polished dents, a clear coat, and a plaque. Saw strength forged here. Saw folks sit there now, chatting, sipping coffee, watching sunsets. Some know its story, some don't. Those who do, they grin. The state kept digging, exposing a fake security firm Evelyn's brother ran, extorting residents with threats and sham fines. Willow Creek's fight triggered statewide HOA audits, cracking open years of rot. I got a restitution check for the sabotage, but the real VY Tory was walking my street, porch lights glowing, kids laughing, a neighborhood breathing free. So what's your take? Was I right to hit back with steel doors and lawsuits? Or did I turn a petty spat into a vendetta? Are HOAs a necessary EVYL or just legalized extortion? How far would you go to defend your home from someone like Evelyn? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if you're with me, and subscribe for more stories of fighting the good fight. Let's keep this spark alive.